Hoping this works. So I am going to work on problem number 8. I'm using my finger to type with, so it could be, that you might not be able to hear. Well, you should be able to hear me, but hopefully you'll be able to read what I'm writing. So number 8 says 3 times n minus 7 equals negative 30. Okay, so now what we want to do is the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the 3. And we do that, remember here's our line, by dividing both sides by 3 so that we don't have to worry about distributing the 3. So when we do that, the 3's cancel out, turning into a positive 1. Of course, 1 times anything is that number, so I'm left with n minus 7 equals, then I have negative 30 divided by 3, which is negative 10. Then my next step, because I've already, that gets rid of my parentheses. I have unlike terms on both sides, so now I'm going to move this 7, but I have to remember that there's a minus in front of it, so the opposite of subtracting 7 is to add 7 to both sides of my equation. So, of course, 7 minus negative 7 plus positive 7 is 0, so it cancels out, leaving us n is equal to negative 7 plus 7 is going to be negative 3 is our answer. Then we check our answer. So we check. So we're going to have 3 times negative 3 minus 7. So we're going to have 3 times negative 10, which of course is negative 30, which is what they say we're supposed to get. So that's the answer, negative 3. All right. Moving on to problem number 9, which is a word problem. Okay, so number 9 says Cameron has 11 adult fantail goldfish. So he has 11 fantail. And if we have to use a letter, I would say let's use F. Okay. This is 7 fewer fantail goldfish than his friend Julia has. So Cameron's number is 7 less, 7 fewer, so we subtract 7, than his friend Julia. So that means Julia has 7, there's 7 more, or you can say Cameron has 7 less. Okay? All right, it says write and solve an equation to determine the number of fantail goldfish, G, that Julia has. So I'm sorry. So they're going to say let's use G instead of F. So Cameron is going to have G minus 7, and that has to equal 11. Okay? So here is your equation. 11 is equal to G minus 7. All right, now we have to show our work. No work, no credit. Okay? So here is our equation, because it asks you to write the equation. So remember, we have an understood line that's drawn here. So I'm going to start with 11 equals G minus 7. And I know my line's drawn right here at the equal sign. Okay, so this is a one-step problem. I need to get rid of the 7 so the G's by itself. But I remember there's a minus sign in front of it, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So, of course, 7 minus 7 is 0, so it cancels out. And 11 plus 7 is 18, and that's what equals G. So, therefore, for our solution, It says determine the number of fantail goldfish that Julia has. So Julia has 18 fantail goldfish. Right, and of course that is our final answer. 18 fantail goldfish, because 18 minus 7 would be 11, which is what Cameron has. Okay, last problem, number 10. All right, it says the pentagon shown is a regular pentagon, so each side has the same length. The perimeter of the pentagon is 22.5 centimeters. What is the value of x? Okay, so let's see if I can insert a picture here, because I know if I try to draw it with my finger, it's not going to work. So, give me a second. Let me take that down, and I'm going to search. Okay, here we go. There's a regular pentagon. All the sides are the same. Dark on it. Well, it's not going to let me copy and paste it. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to draw it then. So it has, no, this isn't right. It looks really bad. Let me try this again. Okay. Sorry. That is the worst pentagon ever put. All right, so one of the sides is x minus 1.5 centimeters. Okay. Now, it says this is a regular pentagon so that each side has the same length. So if there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, all sides are equal according to what it says. So that means, remember, perimeter is the distance around the figure. So the perimeter is going to be equal to 5 times the side length. If I can get a parentheses drawn. Sorry, guys. Guess I can make this bigger again. All right. I had to find out how to record from the smart board. Okay, so that means I'm going to have P. They want to know what the value of X is at the perimeter is 22.5. So P is 22 and a half. So I'll replace P with 2.5. And we know all sides are the same. So that's going to be X minus 1.5. Now again, here is my line. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the parentheses. So I'm going to get rid of this 5. Since 5 times that, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So on the right-hand side, the 5's turn into a 1, leaving me just with X minus 1.5. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to do 22.5 divided by 5, and I get 4.5. Then my next step now is to get rid of this other thing attached to the X, which is minus 1.5. So it means I'm going to add 1.5 to both sides of my equation. And the 1.5's cancel out, turn into a 0. And 4.5 plus 1.5 is going to be 6. 6 centimeters, because it does tell us that it was 22.5 centimeters was the perimeter. So we include centimeters as part of our answer. So we go back and say 6 minus 1.5, you get 4.5. 4.5 times 5 is 22.5. All right, guys. So all you have left now is to study for your quiz, which will be on Monday the 28th. See you then.